Welcome to this advanced WYSIWYG training for Webpages. Though we're using the Relay for Life website today, keep in mind this training will work for different types of events also. When we're in the Event Management Center, we're going to be under the tab Event Website. And then to get our WYSIWYG up so that we can talk about it, we're going to create a custom page. So we'll go ahead and click on the left-hand side, Create a Custom Page. And then we're going to name this page whatever we'd like to name it. So in this case, we're going to name the page WYSIWYG Training. Now that we've named this page, we're just going to look at our WYSIWYG and talk about a couple of the different features on the WYSIWYG. Of course, there's your standard formatting, bold, italicized, underlines, copying, pasting. You can align your text in different areas. You can also add numbered bulleting and regular bulleting, and you can change the indentation of your bulleting. You can also add pictures in, and we know that you can add links in also. That's all covered on editing the basic website, but we're going to talk about a couple of other things that you can do. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult when we add a picture onto the website to make everything line up appropriately. It's always a good idea to use the table feature. By using the table feature, it allows you to line up your website a little better. So let's go ahead and click the button to insert a new table. When we do this, we're given a pop-up, so we can choose the number of columns that appear on the website, the number of rows, if we'd like particular cell spacing, the alignment that we'd like, if we'd like a border or not, and there's also advanced features. So you can choose a border color for your table, a background color for your table, and you can also choose a background image if you have that URL. In this case, we're just going to do a general table so that we can talk about adding columns and rows and making pictures line up. So in this case, we're just going to do 2 columns and 1 row. And then we're going to go ahead and align this center. After we click Insert, we'll see our table has been made here. So I'm going to click on the table, and what I want to do is I want to add a picture on the left-hand side with text to the right of that picture. So I'm going to go ahead and click where I want my picture to be added. Click on the Add a Picture link, and then I'm going to find the picture that I've already uploaded. So in this case, we're going to click Young Boy with Sign. After we've added that picture in, we're going to go ahead and click Insert, and we'll see the Young Boy with Sign has been added to the left-hand side of this column. Now, if we want to add on the right-hand column any text, we're going to say, "Help us fight cancer." And then I can click Shift and enter at the same time, and it's going to make a single space. And then we're going to say, "Fundraise today." Now if I wanted that fundraise today to be centered, I'd simply click the center button, and then I can click bold because that's my point that I want to make sure people notice, the fundraise today. Now we have a picture with text right next to it. This will help us line up what we are doing pretty easily. In this table feature, if we wanted to add more rows, we could do so by clicking these buttons at the top. So you can add a row before, add a row after, or delete that row that you're currently in. You can also insert a column before, insert a column after, or you can remove that column. This button to the right, Merge Table Cells, if you were to highlight 2 cells, if we wanted to add these cells together, we could highlight those cells and click Merge Tables, and we'd see that these tables would be added back to one table. If we wanted to undo that, we could always click the Split Merge Table Cells button next to that, click that, and we'll see that now we have 2 columns. So now we would just have to take this wording that we've already used, we're going to cut that and add it back into the left-hand side. So now we'll see Help Us Fight Cancer, Fundraise Today on our right-hand column. You can also change cell properties for a specific cell. So if we wanted this Help Us Fight Cancer to be 355 pixels wide, so we're going to make it about half a page, we can choose to just edit that table cell property. And then for our width, we could change this to 355 pixels. We'll go ahead and click Update, and now we'll see that Help Us Fight Cancer Fundraise Today area is a little bit wider. So we can go ahead and center that. You can also change the font size proportionally, so let's go ahead and change this font size to 180. that made it a little bit bigger for it. If you're ever having formatting issue and you can't get out of a particular format, this eraser button, which removes formatting, is always helpful to use. So if we were to highlight this text and then click the eraser button, we'll see that all of the formatting has been taken away from it. Where we click Shift and Enter has been taken away, where we bold fundraise today has been taken away, and where we increase the font size has all been taken away. If you wanted to add in a video or you knew specific HTML that you wanted to add to your website, you can always click on the HTML source at the top, which will change the WYSIWYG into HTML. So now we see our HTML code. So you can make any changes to this if you're familiar with HTML. Back in our WYSIWYG, just wanted to point out a couple of other things you can do. We're going to go ahead and add in another row here. And now we're going to talk about personalization. So if you wanted to have in where it said, welcome to your website, and you wanted to have it a person's name, you could click on the personalization option. In this personalization pop-up, we'll see different categories with which we can add this personalization. This is a biographical personalization, which we're talking about adding in a person's information. So we're going to add in the person's first name. But you see here where you could also add in their username and password, and only if they're logged in will they see that. But in this case, we're going to add in first name. Now, if the person's not logged in, you'd want to have text to display when the first name field is not available. So we're just going to type in relayer. And then we'll click Insert. Now we'll see a personalization option. So it says welcome to your website, and then when it says not empty, it's going to have the personalization's first name. But if we click on this empty, it's going to say welcome to your website relayer. And this is just the text for this personalization. You can also add in conditional messaging. So if you wanted to add in a message to only people who have raised under $100, you can choose this if statement at the top. So we're going to choose this if conditional. In this if conditional, we're going to go ahead and click Team Raiser, which is going to show us different Team Raiser information, which is different event information. So you can conditionalize on whether they've reached a certain percentage of their goal, if they're a team captain, if they're not a team captain, if they're a self-donor, if they have a participant center, which means if they're registered or not, by the number of emails sent, by the amount raised, and by the number of donations. So in this case, we're going to use it by the amount raised. So the amount raised is $100. So we're going to go ahead and type in 100 to enter a value to compare against. So if the person has raised less than $100, we'll go ahead and click on the tab less than $100, and then we can type in a message. Send emails today to raise more money. You can click Edit Conditional Message. When you get this edit, it's a little easier to see. So when a person has raised greater than $100, it's going to say congratulations for your fundraising efforts. And if they've raised less than $100, it's going to have that send emails today to raise more money. This is a great trick to use this edit the conditionals button if you have trouble typing right into the screen. So we're going to go ahead and click save. And now we'll see this conditional. So if the person has raised more than $100, this is the message. If the person's raised less than $100, this will be the message. There's a lot of different ways to use that conditional messaging, so it's a nice option to use in the WYSIWYG. This is the advanced training for the WYSIWYG.